How's it going? Again, internet. Yeah, second one of these. And this is going to be the second track I ever put out, which was called Push and Pull, which came out pretty much over a year ago. And technically, it's my most recent single that is 345 days old. So, yeah, most recent single out now. But the reason I'm doing this now is because I've got a new track coming out on Sunday. Today's Friday. And from Sunday onwards, it'll be new music from there on out. So, yeah, I'll stop talking and we'll get into this track. So just like first things first, it starts off with some guitar, blended acoustics and electrics with this lead patch. Sounds like this. Now, the interesting thing about the intro is that it's not only like the main theme of the track, but there's country motion going on, and that's why I called it push and pull, because as one's pushing down, one's pulling up, or vice versa, however you want to see it. Yeah, this sort of theme is quite important to the whole track. So the rhythms are what go down chromatically, and the lead goes up. And they end on that sort of major Dorian thing in a minor key, which I do all the time, and I really like it. And then after that, the sort of vocals and keys come in as the build-up, as well as the ride. And then the whole track kicks into this like B section, which I'm going to call the riff for now, even though it's not really a riff, but it sort of goes between major and minor, and it had that same sort of push and pull character to it. So push and pull just felt right for this. I mean, I could have called the whole track Bathroom Sink, because it's just instrumental guitar music, but I thought push and pull sounded a bit better than Bathroom Sink. In terms of like layers, it's very similar to First Things First. Like I produced these about a month apart from each other. So, I mean, I think it's got more tracks, but in terms of layer sounds and that, they're pretty much identical. And the whole track started off with this section. It's called Norfolk Fast F minor because we're on a holiday in Norfolk and I was playing Dad's acoustic and I came up with that sort of rhythm acoustic part. And when I was writing it, I'm sure other people do the exact same thing. They just sort of call it something that they can remember and that they'll know what it is. And for me, Norfolk Fast F minor seemed to do the job. And yeah, that part that I'm on about was this. Still quite a beat, but it misses the ones and it had some sort of bounce to it, which I quite liked. And that again, carbon copy doubled in the electrics. And for the electrics, I believe I used the Chapman ML1 on position 2, so like bridge and middle. That, yeah, SSS type thin sound, which works really well with the acoustic rhythms, I think. And then bringing in the old MIDI right bang on the grid chords. Which are, again, super MIDI, but all of them together, it sort of works, I think. What else? Arpeggio keys, filling in all the gaps. And the actual melody for this part is super weird if I isolate it. Like there's some chromatic bits in there, but that's because it goes between major and minor. It starts off in essentially F major, but really most of the chords are in F minor. So yeah, weird melody, but with all the chords and that, it sort of still works. little blues lick in the middle. Yeah, doubled again with some piano and sort of synthy leads. Not doing the sort of same rhythm, just accenting the changes. That sounds super, super bizarre, but... Okay, moving on to the verse. This sort of snare roll thing, MIDI snare roll thing. In terms of energy, like, it's all brought way down because the drums are back on this sort of snare roll. Chords are really sparse, like 1 hit per change. And the vocals in this track really just help the sort of transitions to feel a bit more worthwhile. So at the end of this verse, I sort of bring them in to give the sense of, oh, it's about to go into something else. Which goes into the chorus. So quite a poppy chorus. That drop in the instrumentation, apart from the lead line there, is like a super pop thing to do. Like often in pop tracks, like the hook, at least, is like isolated and a cappella, so to speak. But this is just the lead guitar doing that intro hook, which I thought worked for this. So just that in context. And it makes it seem like a chorus as well. Then yeah, vocals towards the end. Then into the same sort of B section, I guess. And then quickly before the verse is open with that same hook. That do. Again, just sort of pop writing. I remember thinking, I don't really know what to do with the bass in this, because yeah, the lead line's getting a bit more energetic, but I wanted the bass to do some sort of groovy stuff. So if I solo bass and rhythms. Just having a bit of fun there. And yeah, then we go to another chorus, which is pretty much identical, apart from at the end, there's this lead run. Which really is like just full on from the end of the chorus through this like solo bit all the way to the breakdown intro. This section was originally written on acoustic, so it's all right down the start of the fretboard in, like, you know, first position. And it uses loads of hammer-ons and pull-offs because it's just easier to play fast when you use them. I think I did the lead on middle position, so position 3, which loads of people don't go to on SSS like Strat type guitars, but for this it sort of just seemed to work because I wasn't happy with bridge or neck or the sort of in-between position, so position 3 seemed to work. And yeah, really happy with how that turned out. And then I doubled it with the lead les. Oh. Yeah, and yeah, a lot of fun. And then it sort of all leads in to the intro section again. Which really, I think, I mean, I'm always obsessed with Nick Johnson, but this was me trying to do my best Nick Johnson impression, I think. And even though Nick Johnson would sound way better than this, I really enjoy that Nick Johnson touch of trying to squeeze as much out of every note, even if it's super simple. That's the idea with this section, like very chill and quiet, contrasting to all these other bits. And yeah, same build up, vocals come in, but this time it leads into the chorus with this same hook. I'll play it from here. With a really quiet, low octave hook to make it seem like it's not going to go into anything big, but bit of a joke, really. And yeah, in the same way as pop artists make the third chorus, or even second chorus nowadays, a bit more, you know, interesting melodically. I tried to do some of that with this, so. So this bit here sort of changes the established thing that you're going to expect, with some runs and fun bass stuff as well. Like there as well, it's another little nugget. And then there's like this ending build-up, which is one time longer to make it seem like we're coming to the end of the track. And then another riff to end it. And what happens here? Oh yeah, there's a fun little stop here. It did something, don't know. And there we go, nice tight ending. But I'm kind of glad I've done this, because what I realise now is that everything is a lot drier. Like these drums are so roomy. Which worked for this. I mean, I was way more into that roomy, proggy, like almost prog metal drum thing, and I still am. I love the drum sound that people are getting nowadays. But for the EP, it's a lot drier and sort of tighter. Same kit pieces actually, pretty much same presets, but yeah, just with a different attention to detail with reverbs and stuff. So yeah, like the new stuff is very much on the same lines as this, in the sense that it's taking a lot from pop music and the way it's produced and the attention to detail of where are these hooks coming from. And spoiler alert, this first theme, I'm going to call it, does crop up on the EP somewhere, because I really like the idea of reusing themes, and it's almost that classical composition idea of like themes are super important at establishing a whole track, and sometimes, you know, these big orchestral arrangements come from this really simple theme. And yeah, so this guy is going to be reused, and maybe other bits of this will be reused at some point. I mean, because it's instrumental music, like I quite like quoting other things every so often. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'm glad you guys liked the last one. Reading all your comments and responding to them, you know, it was really good to see. So I will do the same thing for the new EP tracks, and those will come out later on after it's been out for a couple of weeks and stuff. So yeah, cheers guys, see you in a bit.